Oil prices are surging after Israel declared war on Hamas following a devastating attack in the nation over the weekend. Around noon Eastern today, the international benchmark Brent crude increased to more than $88 per barrel. That's more than $3 more than Friday's settlement price. Israel and Palestinian territories are not major crude oil producers, but the Middle Eastern region accounts for almost a third of global supply. Bill Watts joins me now. He's a markets editor for MarketWatch. Bill, how can this new war in the Middle East impact U.S. markets?
Right. Well, I think oil is really the linchpin here. And so far what we've seen is we have seen a jump in oil, but we're not back to levels we were even about 2 weeks ago. So people are going to be keeping a close eye on this to see if the conflict widens, how much Iran is implicated in what has happened, and what that means for supply going forward.
So with oil from the Middle East being such a big part of the global economy, what happens to gas prices now?
Well, interestingly, gasoline prices have been on the decline. And usually we do see some seasonal weakness in the fall after summer driving season. But we've seen gasoline prices falling, or we've seen demand for gasoline have already fallen more than what you typically see for this time of year. And so expectations have been for gasoline prices to fall at least, through the end of this month and probably, into the fourth quarter before this happened. Now, of course, if oil rallies sharply and we see crude go back to, back towards $100 or more in the event that this conflict widens, then that's going to be off the table. But for right now, the trend in gasoline prices has been to the downside. And if we don't go back to those previous highs that we saw just recently, that would probably be expected to remain in place.
As you were mentioning matters being off the table, I'm wondering, with Israel having been working to normalize trade with Saudi Arabia and having done so with other Arab nations, how could this impact the money that would flow from Israel and other countries?
Well, I think there is a lot of concern around the implications for what's happened in Israel, what that means for normalization. It speaks to investment, but also, just in terms of oil, which is really what it all comes back to. We had seen oil. Part of the reason we did see oil fall last week was this expectation that we may be closer to normalization of relations between Israel and Saudi Arabia, and that maybe the Saudis would look to maybe unwind some of their production cuts early next year as a goodwill measure if that came through. If this means that doesn't occur, that's a long-term concern, on the crude front.
Yeah, we'll see what role Saudi Arabia plays in the resolution of all of this. Bill Watts, thank you so much.
Thank you.